Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Alliance live show number 26. I'm the hostess with the mostest, Ramona Zob, and I'm joined today by a super awesome super dude, the Golden Chinchilla. What's going on, buddy? Good old Maurice.
What's going on? How you doing, guys?
Good old Maurice.
Good old Ramon.
So, lots of cool stuff to talk about. Obviously, we got Mother Talzin. We've got 7-star Chimera I'm going to go for here on the show. What are your initial thoughts on Mother Talzin?
I think she is a brand new Palpatine. A brand new Palpatine for us. She's pretty cool, man. She has a whole new element to the game with the plague. It's gonna be interesting. New mechanics. It's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, she does add a new element to the game with plague, and she is kind of like you said, a different version of Palpatine. Plague is kind of like, plague is kind of like excuse me, what's that debuff called?
Plague.
No, I'm talking about Palpatine's.
The shock.
Shock, right. Plague is kind of like shock, but obviously it does different things. But yes, Nightsisters are going to be a pretty cool team overall. I think they're going to have a really cool synergy after we get to the new rework update, and also after we get Mother Talzin herself. Now, Mother Talzin actually has some really cool animations as well. She looks like she's going to do a decent amount of damage, and with the basic ability alone, I mean, she's going to continue to stick plague on her opponents, and then on top of that, I think that it's just going to basically, what is it? They lose 5% health at the start of every encounter.
At the start of every turn, yeah. They lose 5% health, and when they have plague, they're immune to dispels, which is something new. Like they like a cleanse on the other team, like Kenobi if he tries to cleanse, or somebody like Akbar, Rex, they're immune to it. Yeah. So that's something that's very interesting.
Yeah, and it can't be countered. The damage. So basically, let's say she does her special attack, Dark Magic, and she sticks plague on all 5 opponents. Whenever she does her basic, she's going to do special damage to all 5 opponents as well. So, against teams,
plague, yes.
Against characters like Commander Luke, who counterattack, they're not going to be able to counter against her. So that's going to make it even more interesting because, again, this will be a direct counter to Commander Luke himself. So I don't know. It could be pretty interesting. Again, it also depends on how effective the other Nightsisters are. Now, I know that you happen to have the Nightsister reworks pulled up there. You want to go ahead and just discuss a little bit about that and what you think?
Yeah. Many of you guys know me. I've had a little man crush on Asajj for a long time, so we'll start with her. Her changes aren't too significant. When we're discussing all these Nightsisters, just remember all the health that's going around, and her leadership is something I'm seriously considering. Her basic attack, it used to stun a 35% chance, now it's 50%. Her strike fear, which is her AoE dispel, it now itself for all the buffs it removes, it heals all of the Nightsister allies. So it's an AoE debuff, or excuse me, an AoE dispel, right? And then also a full team. It's just a full team heal. That's an AoE heal. That's pretty nasty for Strike Fear. Especially now you're facing, especially if you have like the Bazes and Cheruts, anybody that's stealth, like if R2 comes in and immediately stealths the whole team, you can suck all of that stuff up. You can suck all of the stealth, all of the heal over times, all that stuff. You can just suck right off, and they're just wide open, and then you heal the whole team. That's pretty awesome. Endless Wrath is her AoE move. It now grants defensive down, which is going to be helpful because as we go over this, you'll see all these Nightsisters. A couple of them get like a significant offense boost, and you pair that with a defense down, they're going to be hitting a lot harder. This kind of remedies the lack of offense the faction has. Daka, she's never going to do any damage. But that's about it for that. And of course, with that AoE, if you kill somebody, it resets all of her cooldowns. So that's pretty cool too. Her lead is going to be a little bit different. It used to grant 28 speed to all the Nightsister allies. Now it grants 30. Okay, thanks, I guess, for 2 extra speed. It now grants 30% offense on top. So there's one thing that's going around with all these new Nightsisters. It's tons of stacking offense and tons of just health regeneration. It's a new team all together. It's pretty cool. If you put a Zeta on it, they get 50% turn meter when they fall below 100% health, and then there's a 50% chance to remove 20% turn meter when they damage an enemy. And as we go through this, you'll notice your Nightsisters are going to constantly be regaining 50% health, 20% health. Just Asajj herself has 55% health steal. That's insane. I'm pretty sure it's the highest in the game. 55% health steal is ridiculous. So they're constantly, every time they get hit, when it's their turn, there's a good chance they're going to heal themselves all the way back up. And then as soon as they get hit again, they lose a little bit of health, they get 50% turn meter right back. So a lot of these characters are slow, and the speed issue, by just throwing around tons of turn meter, I am probably going to, I want to see the damage some of these Nightsisters do, but I'm probably going to invest in the Zeta on her leadership, and pretty good.
Okay.
Her unique. The unique, you used to need a Zeta to get the unique. Now that they've given us like a free test drive of it, kind of, for no Zeta. And if I was a player that put a Zeta on that unique, and they just basically gave it to the rest of the player base now, without requiring Zeta just to try it out, I'd be a little upset. But that's some, I guess that's a different topic. But her Zeta now, it gives 100% turn meter chance, which is she gains 35% turn meter anytime an enemy dies. She's 20% offense and 20% crit chance, and then 5% max health. The forum says stacking. I'm not sure if that's just the health that is stacking, or if it's all of the offense and crit chance. If you get stacking offense, that's nasty. But she's essentially the same character. She's got a couple new tricks up her sleeve, an AoE heal, and then also her stun goes up a little bit. Great character. I think she's going to be pretty much included in all these teams.
But which one would you say you're most excited about? From reading the rework. I mean, I like a little bit about what they did with old Daka, but I mean, I don't know. I think they could have done a little bit more. Overall, though, I know you told me that you liked. I think you mentioned you liked Nightsister Acolyte, right?
I think Nightsister Acolyte will be the most improved. I'm not sure she's the best. Daka's got some. We'll do Daka next. Daka's got some interesting abilities to her. It basically turns us into just a complete like necromancer. You put her in with some Mother Talisman together, and just there's so many revives going on. And you got her. Old Daka's unique. Your characters are going to be constantly coming up from the dead. They're going to be very, very irritating on defense. I think this team, the Nightsisters, have a lot of potential as a defensive arena team, which is something we really don't have. People use Barris, but this is going to be way more annoying than Barris. Just because a lot of these characters, if you're willing to go all in on them and put Zetas and stuff on them, they get tons of stacking health. Just a real pain in the butt. But the cool thing about Daka, and if you pair it with Asajj's leader, her basic, it used to do one basic attack and then grant an additional stun, right? But now it's going to grant 2 attacks. So if you pair that with Asajj's leadership, you're taking 20% turn meter away from 2 characters now. Well, percentage of 2 characters. She's got, I think it's 55% chance. She hits one character with a basic and then has a chance to deliver another basic attack and stun. So
double damage is nice though, and
yeah. Well, she does no damage, but it pairs well with
Well, if you
I thought that was cool. I think that's really cool. Actually, that one little small tweak could make a huge difference.
If you couple that with with Mother Talzin, and you're talking about her being called in to assist, with her special attack, you could be getting, especially with the, the reses and the call-in assists, and I mean, you could be talking about multiple people stunned, all over the place with plague on them. I mean, it could be a pretty good team. It depends really on how it pans out with some of the other characters, though. Like, have we discussed Nightsister Initiate? Well, she's probably the tankiest out of all of them. They don't really have a tank. So, I mean, if you're talking about, removing, like, basically, if you're talking about Nightsister Initiate not being the best character or the best or one of the better parts of the rework, then what are you going to do to replace that character? Like, who are you going to put in there as a tank instead of Nightsister Initiate?
No one. You have no tank. You don't. I mean, and the way I look at
it, can you run with no tank right now?
I mean, you can. Initial theory crafting and all these little crazy ideas I have in my head. I mean, you don't really need a tank because, I mean, if you use Mother Talzin, she's going to revive and call in the basics. Daka's going to be reviving. Just all sorts of health steal, health regeneration. Talia's kit, her rework is phenomenal. Like, that's nasty, her rework. We'll get to her after we do Daka, but that's pretty good. But basically, yeah, Daka's basic does 2 basic attacks now instead of 1 basic attack with a chance to stun. Her revive is essentially the same thing. It went up to 50% health from 30, and then the Nightsisters actually, because she revives one ally, and then there used to be 35% chance to revive another, but now it's 35% chance to revive another, but doubled for Nightsisters. So if you have 3 Nightsisters down and Daka pops her, her revive, you're going to revive the one person you clicked on, and then 70% chance for the other 2. You bring them back up, and then they go, and it carries on and on and on. I mean, it's going to be very, very frustrating. And you got to think, though, when these characters die, they're going to lose all of their debuffs. So if you just have tons and tons of debuffs stacked on Asajj, and she dies, and when she's revived, they're all gone. So it's kind of like a passive cleanse just to let them die and just bring them right back.
Right.
That's it's an interesting strategy. I'm gonna have a lot of fun with this. Her lead at 50% health now, and then 50% defense. I don't. It's nice. I just don't think it's very. That's a good leader. It's just not anywhere close to the best leader out of the bunch here. Her unique now. This got updated pretty significantly. When allies defeated, Daka gains 50% turn meter, and a cooldown of her resurrection is reduced. So half dead Nightsisters, and they just keep going down, keep going down. Like let's say Daka revives 2, and then they only have like 1% health. They don't get revived very much health, right? Then somebody comes in and AOEs and knocks them both out again. That's going to give Daka 100% turn meter, and it's going to reduce her revive cooldown by 2. It's super annoying. Like, this team is going to be a real pain to beat on defense. Cooldown resurrection. When she's active, any resurrected ally receives 20% turn meter, offensive defense up. So you're reviving them right back with all. It's crazy. And she did get a Zeta. She gets stacking health now every time an ally dies.
Okay.
For 10% health. So that's pretty cool. Let's see. We will do Talia next because I just hyped her up. Her basic now does. If Talia falls below full health, she does 50% extra damage if she's got less than 100% full health. And then and instead of just healing herself now, with her move, she heals the damage she does. You spread the heal to all the Nightsister allies. So every time Talia does her basic attack, you're healing the entire Nightsisters. So that's pretty good.
Zachary's saying you just killed Talia first, right? I mean, what would that be?
Well, you could if you kill Talia first and Daka just revives her right back up. It just I don't know. That's a good question. He or she brings up, like, who do you go for at first? Like, do you go for Daka? Do you go for Talzin? Do you go for Talia? Do you go for I mean, it's tough to say. I don't know. All this is simply theory crafting because we don't have these reworks in our hands yet, and we sure as heck don't have Mother Talzin.
Right.
But you know, her heal move that everyone used to make tons of jokes about. Oh, she hurts herself to heal the team. Well, yeah, she still does that, but now she dispels all the debuffs on all the Nightsisters every time she uses that move. So the one way you in your head you think that you can take care of these Nightsisters no problem is using characters like Sidious, Anakin, and like Kylo with their like heal immunity dispelled every time she uses this move, and I think Acolyte's got a dispel too. So they've got the full package here, just minus a tank, as you mentioned. Talia consumes her health, but gains 15% turn meter also for each Nightsister ally. So she's going to dispel all the debuffs, and if she's counting herself, so what's that? 75% turn meter she gets every time she uses this move. So that's pretty crazy.
Right.
Her move that she just does, her little sword swipe, you know, the sword swipe she does, it drops a dot. It does the same thing. I don't really understand. This is something I have to test. If at full health, you consume 10% of your health to deal double damage, which is cool. But then this part, otherwise, immediately use her basic attack. I'm not sure if that means she gets to go again or if she just does the same effect as her basic attack. That I don't know. But yeah, that's Talia. So Talia is going. So you got 2 AOE heals now. Talia every time she uses her basic, and Asajj every time she uses her AOE dispel move. So you're going to constantly. I go right back to Asajj's leadership. I mean, you're going to constantly be healing everybody up. They're constantly be at 100%, and as soon as they get hit, they drop below 100%. They get 50% turn meter back, and then just rinse repeat all day long. I don't know how good it's going to be on offense, but on defense, it could essentially be a real pain in the butt.
It sounds like it.
Acolyte is the one. Yeah, Acolyte's the one I'm actually kind of excited for. Just have to see how much damage she actually does, because I'm working her now. I've never really used her, so I don't really know her full kit and how she works. But her basic attack, it used to just grant her 55% chance for stealth. It goes up to 70% now. Okay. If she is stealth, she gets to attack again. So that's pretty cool. It's a nice little boost. She's almost like a she's like a poor man's Leia now for the Nightsisters. Basically, is what she is.
Okay.
So that's kind of cool. Her first special on a crit hit, remove. On a crit hit, 30% turn meter she gains, and she dispels all random debuffs on a random ally. 20% crit damage for each Nightsister ally and each debuffed enemy. On a finishing blow, reduces cooldown by 1. So again, if it's counting herself, she's getting 100% crit damage for this move. It's just pretty nasty. You load her up with like a crit damage triangle and a crit set. You know, you're looking at over 300% crit damage. To pair with her unique, which is Acolyte has a 25% crit chance, up from 15, and she recovers 20% health on crit hit. So again, just constantly refilling her health bar. When she's stealthed, she gets 50% offense. So that's crazy. 50% offense, going twice. You know, she's got the move with 100% crit damage.
This is for Acolyte.
Yeah.
50% offense when she's stealth.
Yeah. So when she's stealth, she's 50% offense going twice. When she uses her special move, she has if you use the full Nightsisters team, 100% crit damage, the 50% offense.
100% crit damage.
Yeah, but assuming she counts herself, it says 20% crit damage for each Nightsister ally. If she doesn't count herself, then it's 80%. That's still pretty nasty.
But I mean, you know, the percentage is, you know, based on how much damage she actually does, though. So I mean, like,
right.
Like, I mean, how
she doesn't how have much a terrible basic.
How much damage really is 100% crit damage for, you know, Nightsister Acolyte's damage, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, right. You know, you don't know, but
no, this is something that needs to be. I need to see. I'm really gambling taking her up all the way to 11. That's going to be the gamble for me.
With all these reworks, it always comes down to also, you know, what kind of bonuses they're giving the core stats. Like, you know, like how you know, how much more damage are they getting on a basic? You know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff matters, because if it's just a slight increase, you know, it doesn't really justify. I mean, you have characters out there, you know, you're facing sometimes characters like, you know, like a Zeta Barris or something like that, where I mean you're doing some pretty hardcore attacks and you're not even doing damage. So I mean, you got to have like, Some characters, especially if you're trying to be a meta character. I mean, you're gonna have to be able to do a decent amount of damage, and with these reworks, sometimes it feels like the kits have been updated, but in some cases they haven't updated the core stats enough. Is what I feel like a little bit.
Right, right, and maybe perhaps that's why some of these characters are getting like 50% offense. That's pretty significant. You know what I mean? That's a high percentage, and we'll go over Initiate now. She gets 100%, like a situational buff, 100% offense.
It just reminds me of It reminds me of when Cassispella wanted to, he wanted to Omega Barrisoffy's basic attack because it got like 25% increase in damage. And I was like, 25% of what? Because I mean, like, Barrisoffy does like 1,200 damage with her basic at that time. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I mean, if you get 25% increase on that, you talk about like 50. I mean, it's still nothing. I mean, there's better Omegas. I mean, you could put on there. Now this is back like when we, when we only had a few Omega, mats. So.
Oh, I remember. Yeah.
You remember?
And Grande Patron actually, I remember. God, this was over a year ago. I was watching a stream with him on it, and he Omega'd like Royal Guards basic for the 15% extra damage. Of his 1,200 basic attack damage he does.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we like I said, they had that initial, like, before you weren't able to get Omegas until you were at level 80, I think it was, right? And in order to get there, you had to be level 80, and then you got one every day for your dailies. That's how we started getting them. But they actually, right before most people got to a level 80, they had those Omega events they started. So anybody who paid the crystals, they were able to get like a stash of Omegas. So for like a couple of weeks, you were sitting there with like Omegas, and you were like just holding them preciously, just making sure you're putting or buying the right Omega abilities. I think I did Qui-Gon Jinn's basic for the turn meter reduction because it was good for the raid.
Yeah.
And
at the time, that was a very, very good. That was one of the best Omegas because there was outside of Tebow, there really wasn't much turn meter manipulation in the game.
Yeah.
As far as removing it on attack,
Mm-hmm.
So that time that was the go-to one. That was probably top 5 recommended.
Well, it was good. It was good for a lot of reasons. I mean, not only did it reduce the turn meter on a basic, but also it was it was for the raid. So. It was a great way to help get further along in P1 against the pigs. So I mean, now you have 100 different ways you can kill a Rancor, but I'm saying back then the options were limited. I remember at first we were running like Rex teams, just trying to figure out the best way to get it done. I remember like when the Rancor first came out and doing like 700k damage, 800k damage was considered like really good. Now everybody does 10 million.
Yeah.
But it's the way it is. So yeah, I mean, it sounds pretty interesting with all the the different additions. I mean, I think it's. Like I said, it's going to come down to, when you have these characters in your hands, how much more damage are they actually doing? And, we'll have to see what happens there. I personally think with some of these characters, they did some great work. I think, like you said, Nightsister Acolyte definitely looks pretty interesting. I think that Talia looks pretty interesting. Old Daka looks pretty interesting. But ultimately, their synergy with Mother Talzin is going to be the most important thing. And again, can they really roll without a tank? Or are you going to have to substitute some character in there, from another faction, maybe like a General Kenobi, or maybe you remove one more Nightsister and you run like Baze and Chirrut with the rest of the Nightsisters. I don't know how that's going to work. Maybe Chirrut and Baze, and then old Daka. Old Daka, Asajj, and Mother Talzin. I don't know. It's an idea.
This these Night Sisters pair kind of well with the Sith. Like like especially if you use like this the Thousand Lead,
Okay.
you know, because every time a plague enemy does a turn, they lose 5% health. So their health is going down. Their health is going down, and so you have Assassin and Sith Trooper who just bypass. So has Savage go in there and finish them off if they get below a certain point of health. They pair kind of well, and in the event we ever need like a dark side type of roster for either like I don't know like a territory battle or something moving forward, you know, anything in the future, it'd be cool. You can kind of blend these characters. Like if we had let's say we had a dark side territory battle, we could platoon some of the Light Sisters, we could platoon some of the Sith. Then you have these leftovers that you can kind of build a feasible squad around that kind of gel together. So I'm looking forward to kind of Sith Night Sister teams in the future. It's going to be fun.
Okay.
These are a lot of characters I don't really have much experience with. There's really we didn't go over Initiate, but really all she does in her basic,
really all she does is go on her base. I mean, you can tell how disinterested you are in Nightsister Initiate's rework.
And now we'll go over Initiate. She now inflicts an additional damage over time. You know, fantastic. That's great. Her cut down move, it gives crit chance up to all the allies now, which is cool. I didn't see much of a difference in her second special. Her basic is cut down, I think, maybe. Allies gain crit chance up as well. She still inflicts buff immunity. Her unique, she did get a new unique. If this is the one I mentioned earlier, if Initiate has full health, she has 100% counter chance. Otherwise, 100% offense. She is a perfect example of what you were talking about, doing very, very little damage. And I guess you multiply nothing by 2, and it's still nothing.
Yeah.
And she got a Zeta for 50% offense and 30% counter chance. That's what her Zeta does. She's the one I'm leaving out for no other reason that she just takes way too many Carbonis for my liking. And I will mention Acolyte and Talia. I took them to Gear 9. And then I realized how simple it was to take them to Gear 10. They're like Palpatine and Nihilus. They take tons and tons of those little MK3 thermal detonators. But the other gear is pretty simple. Like I don't think there was any stun cuffs, stun guns, anything like that to go up. So that was kind of a nice surprise.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, definitely pretty interesting. Now, I didn't see any word on exactly how we're going to be able to attain Mother Talzin yet. Have you heard anything?
I've heard nothing. Personally, I would love to see the Legendary event because I actually have the Night Sisters. But, you know, we just had a Legendary event with the Chimera, right?
Right.
So, I don't know. I feel like they kind of go back and forth. Like, you know, we had, what did we have? We had the Sith, and then we got Thrawn, I think, and then we had the Ewoks, so we got CLS, you know. So, I don't know. God, I hope it's a Legendary event because I can't do a marquee event. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, no,
I'll just watch somebody else be awesome with Mother Talzin.
I hear you. It would definitely be interesting if it was a Legendary event, but you know we'll have to see. I'm excited about Mother Talzin either way. I mean, even if she is, let's say, a pay-to-play character, you'll eventually get her. And I mean, right now, it seems like they're going to be coming up with some other characters here pretty soon too. So I'm sure they're going to be shuffling along characters because there's going to be characters coming out for The Last Jedi. We're within 2 months of the movie's release. So, you know, you're talking 60 days. There's probably going to be some sort of event, you know, for the movie when it comes out, or, you know, they'll have, you know, some sort of packs, or, you know, I mean, whenever a movie comes out, they always do, especially one of the actual trilogy movies, or the one of the saga films. You know, when you're talking about Last Jedi, they're definitely going to be releasing, you know, characters, and, you know, there's going to be a whole lot of hoopla around that when it happens. So, what do you think is going to happen as far as Jedi Rey, or let's say Old Man Luke? Do you think we're going to get either of those characters, you know, for the movie before it comes out?
I could see them being like a Legendary event, and just kind of duplicate what they did for CLS. Like they just gave us BB-8. You needed R2 for CLS, so maybe you need BB-8 and, you know, maybe the Resistance to unlock one of the, you know, the Ray, or I'm not sure what you would use for Luke. I mean, I don't know. We've already got legendary events for all the reasonable factions for him, right? Like, I don't know what you do there.
Yeah, me either.
I would think it's either gonna be like a legendary event or maybe like another what's that? The Flash event, you know, where they basically go through the timeline.
Right. You mean like a hero's journey kind of thing?
Yes, hero's journey. Yeah, excuse me. Yeah.
Well, with Ray, you know, I don't know. I feel like they'd have to do. I think with Luke or Ray, they'd have to do a legendary event with those characters. I don't know. They're too big of characters, I think, to just kind of put into like a marquee event or a just a pack. You know, they might do similar to what they did with the Force Awakens, have some sort of bundle the day the movie releases. I mean, I remember like the morning the movie was released, they had, you know, they had that Force Awakens bundle with Kylo Ren, and you know, I mean, it was, you know, not a great pack when I got it. I mean, it was okay. You know, I ran Kylo Ren for a little bit in Arena, but you know, his time passed quickly. Anyway, the pack ended up paying dividends later on because I already had, you know, a Finn, so it just kind of, you know, put me in the direction of, you know, finishing Finn up and getting him done. So when the time came that Resistance actually, you know, saw like a turnaround, I already had, you know, most of that done already. So it's pretty, it was okay. You know, again, Kylo Ren just wasn't good until he got that Zeta. So eventually,
oh, he was awful, man.
Eventually, he got there.
I can't remember why I had him, but I had him at 4-star in the very first start of the game, and he was phenomenal at 4-star when everyone had nothing but 4-star characters, and he just like never got any better. He just got tankier. Still did like 1,500 damage on his basic. He was atrocious for the longest time, and he was so bad.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Overall, I think the rework sounds pretty interesting. You know, I'm definitely a fan, but you know, we'll have to wait and see, you know, what the finished product looks like, I guess.
Yeah, we will. And again, really, like, because right now the Nightsisters do no damage, and if all these buffs and stuff really don't help much in the damage aspect, like portion of their kits, I'm gonna have a hard time to use them like on offense and arena, or even the raids. You might get tons of turns in like a P3 scenario, but if you're not doing any damage, it's not really doing you any good. I'm taking a gamble, but I won't be super disappointed if it's no good. You know, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, of course.
But now you know good and well that you're going to need this faction for something. Like the devs are constantly preparing us for the future without letting us know. You know what I'm saying? Like, we needed Phoenix for Thrawn, right? And lo and behold, you need Phoenix for the territory battles. You know, it's just constant stuff like that. They gave us CLS, you know, and no one knew at the time that he was going to be a required character for a game mode that we didn't even know about at the time. You know, so everyone cries and whines and stuff when they're like, oh, we don't have this and this and this to get these characters. And then not only can you not get the character, you can't participate in the territory battle. So, you know, maybe kind of slowly plucking away. Even if it is a legendary event, you can't get it this time. It would be wise to maybe start slowly plucking them away and getting them done for the future, because I guarantee you will need them mandatory for something in the future.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, not even one expose on that. That's disgusting. Okay, but yeah, I mean, ultimately, I think you're going to need the Nightsisters for something. So yes, they're always throwing a little bone out there, and the real emphasis of the game right now is use your whole collection. So they're definitely going to, after putting time into reworking these characters, make them necessary in some way, shape, or form, whether it be like an event, like like a scoundrel event, or it be the next territory battles, or what have you. But yeah, overall, I'm excited about it. Again, I think that Mother Talzin looks really cool. Her animations look cool. Her, kid is really interesting. I like Plague. I think that could be a really interesting debuff. I'm looking forward to, getting my hands on her and giving her a shot. I'll probably be able to, even if I don't necessarily make the purchase to get her, I'll probably be able to access her on my Game Changer account. So when I get a chance to do that, I'll try to, get some footage, or, actually stream, some of that here on one of the live shows. So we'll get that on there. So maybe next week or the week after we'll do that.
Yeah, and even looking at her kit, man. Even if she is a marquee, but let's say she's a marquee event, I feel like you're not gonna be able to use her raids, but I feel like she could do her job at 3 and 4 star if you've got good mods. She's really, just at a first glance at her kit, she doesn't really look like she's there for damage. She's there for all her support. And I mean, if people try to target your 3-4 star Mother Talzin, they're just gonna leave all the other Nightsisters wide open to keep healing themselves. So I'm interested. I'm very interested.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah.
But there was no other real update information. I think we didn't actually get an update, so we'll have to wait for this. Now, do we know when this is going live yet, or do we have any info on that?
On Mother Talzin?
Yep.
Oh, I don't have a clue, man. I don't think they've said.
Okay.
I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, guys in the chat, just like, hey, Maurice, you're wrong. You're an idiot. This is what it said.
It was actually said yesterday. Yeah, but it's cool. I didn't think it was announced yet, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm wondering what other fixes they're going to have with that. I think that the Ewoks here are going to be coming into the game as farmable characters pretty soon, so I'm wondering how they're going to do that, or when that's going to happen. That might happen with this update. As far as we know, I don't know if they're going to continue to. You think they're going to add characters to the shard shop anymore, or you think that's done too?
Well, I think I didn't want to think like that, but the Ewoks are well past their due date to be in there, correct?
Right.
I think that's the thing of the past.
Right.
I think they were kind of slowly getting us out of the groove of that when they left the characters in there, for what, like Saxon and the Super Command, they're in there for like a week. Ahsoka was in there for a week, where in the past they left Baze in there for 3 months. They left some of these characters in there a real long time. I think they were kind of trying to slowly get us out of the habit of getting them out of there, maybe.
Right.
Because it's free. I mean, for a free-to-play player, there's no way you can accumulate enough shard shop currency in 1 week to make any sort of significant move on a character, so we'll see. It's not the end of the world.
No, it's not.
You can't catch them all unless you want to, spin the car. You know what I mean? Like, you can't. You can't catch them all. So some you win, some you win, you lose some. You just work with what you have. There are plenty of characters in the game to build any sort of team comp for any sort of activity now.
Okay. What's up, T-Money? All right, let's see here. So these is done. It's time to deploy. So I'm going to deploy my shipses. Then I'm going to deploy my light side. And then my dark side, even though it doesn't matter because I think we have 3 stars on everything already. Let's do that. Alright, so that's that. Now, Now let's just do a quick look here at the meta report before we go hamburger here on this Chimera. But first things first is the rank 1 leaders, the top 10. And I'm shocked and amazed, and really I don't know what to say, but it's Commander Luke at number 1. And General Kenobi, and still Rex holding on to a decent piece of the pie here, but the other top 7 are all kind of squeezed into this little 5% of the pie, with really Grand Admiral Thrawn taking the majority of that. So it's kind of slim pickings out there. Most of the people are running the same teams. Are you seeing any movement out there? Are you seeing anything, any trends that might be moving us in a different direction, where like Arena could be awesome again?
Run the same teams for the last 2 months. No changes besides mods.
I would love
it. No one's getting creative. No one's getting cute.
I would love it for Arena to be awesome again. I'm kind of disappointed, but we'll see. Maybe Mother Talzin will do it. Maybe it'll be Mother Talzin.
We'll see. We'll see how the damage they do.
We'll see.
It's definitely possible.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the top 10 squad members at rank 1, and it looks like the same in the top 3, really kind of taken, I'd say, about 55% of the pie is R2-D2, followed by Commander Luke and General Kenobi. Then you have Grand Admiral Thrawn surpassing Han Solo again now. So Han Solo was ahead of him, and now Grand Admiral Thrawn has kind of made some improvement here. Do you see any more Grand Admiral Thrawn in Arena than usual? I guess Nihilus is also right behind Han Solo too. So Han Solo's kind of being used maybe either a little bit less, or there's just a big surgence of Grand Admiral Thrawn out there.
Well, Thrawn and Nihilus are going to creep up because everyone thinks they're being clever and using Barriss behind Kenobi. So how you beat these teams is you fracture or buff block Kenobi and just mow through the Barriss. And if your team is modded well and you got a really good Arena team, your Nihilus can get off pretty quick and just eliminate the Barriss with his Annihilate right away. Like, if you guys run Zeta Barriss, do not run Zeta Barriss with Kenobi lead. It's so stupid. It's so easy to beat on defense. Like, you just fracture Kenobi and just mow through her, and then all of a sudden, what are you going to do? The opposing Nihilus is going to annihilate your whole team. The team's done.
Right.
Like, Barriss is so much better underneath a different lead without Kenobi. I personally think. I think the team's super easy to beat, but yet everybody runs it. Because I guess you can kind of click auto on offense and kind of just get through your Arena that way. Because I guess is what I hear. I don't run Zeta Barriss, but...
Yep. But, yeah, it seems like... It seems like there's not much movement, and again, it's just another... I don't know. It's still rounded out by Rex here, and Barriss Offie, obviously, with the Zetas, still in the mix, and Baze and Charut, but I don't know. I'd like to see a mix-up here. Maybe we'll see some, some dark side characters come up into the mix at some point. Really, it's just, kind of Grand Admiral Thrawn and Darth Nihilus in there because, they're utility characters that can kind of be used in any squad. You can use them with a Rex lead, you can use them with a Kenobi lead, or you can use them with a Commander Luke lead, with R2-D2 and, a mixture of other characters. So that's why you're seeing a lot of Grand Admiral Thrawn and Darth Nihilus, but there's not a lot of, dark side led teams. There are a few people running, a Grand Admiral Thrawn Arena led team right now, but those are few and far between, and you'd really have to have some pretty good mods to run that team right now. So I think that, I would like to see, definitely some movement in the top 50, and I like to see that, a character like, let's say, for example, Mother Talzin, can maybe come in and shake the meta up. But, I'd like to also see maybe a character that, a lot more people can get, or a few characters, so it's not just one, especially a character that's going to be, behind a paywall. So, we'll see. But moving along, we're going to go back to the game here, and I'm going to go ahead and try to get the Chimera. So I've saved this event for you guys, so we could do this here. Let me go ahead and go for this. I haven't done any of the battles yet, but I do have a 7-star. I have a 7-star home 1, so we should be able to get it all the way done. It depends really on how, good my squad is. I should probably use some of my credits here to level up the Cassian's U-Wing right before I get in there. Is there really a benefit? Do I need to have a 6th ship?
Might as well bring it. I mean, what else are you gonna do with it? Just leave it? Just leave it at home?
No, I mean, I'm going to use it, but I'm saying, like, I mean, should I spend credit, ship credits right now, leveling this up? I only have 1.3 million.
No, man. Go if you can't beat it, then maybe come back to it. I just leave it.
Right. Smart.
Yeah. No.
That's why you're good. That's why you're good on the race.
I don't think I called in a reinforcement on any of the battles. I didn't have a reinforcement for the 7. My Cassian wasn't 7-star, but
what do you think about?
It's like 2 battle phases.
What do you think about ship leader abilities eventually?
Well, our capital ships are basically the leaders, yeah.
Right, but I mean, like
kind of what they are.
Yeah, but I mean, like, yeah. Well, fine. So give the capital ships leader abilities, like some sort of effect because you use that capital ship, just because the capital ship is there. Oh, it's Thrawn's ship. I mean, we're gonna have to fight the Chimera now, so it's a pretty cool animation.
The underbelly of the ship there, yeah.
Yeah, but obviously level 1 and the beginning of this is going to be super easy. I'm wondering how difficult it's going to be at 7 stars because, again, I had some trouble with the Thrawn ship in that home 1 mission to get the shards for the capital ship. So, all right, 25 Chimera shards and 50 crystals. I will take it.
Yeah, save your ship credits, man, and get that capital ship all the way up. Did you get any of the other capital ships 7-star, or just get the home 1 for the event?
Just the home 1.
Same.
Yeah, I mean, I'll wait on that. I mean, I'll wait on that. I'll get the Executrix up there and the Endurance too, but not right now. I mean, I had no problem using crystals for to get the Chimera, because you're basically getting 2 ships for 1. And you only needed about I mean, if you did it right, you only needed what, 800 crystals, or maybe it was about 2,000 crystals total to do it.
It was 3,400 crystal investment.
3,300. Sorry, right?
Maximum. Yeah, maximum. The correct, it's too late now, obviously, but the correct way to do it was, we got 3 chances at all these capital ship events. So the first thing you do is you're going to have to buy one of those packs, right? So you buy 1 pack, and 98.97% of the time you're going to get 10 shards. But if you happen to get lucky, then you're going to save crystals down the road, because you want to do each of the events once for free, and then refresh each time for 800. And so you get 30, 30, 30 from the 3 times the event comes around, plus the 10 from your pack. So that's 800 times 3. And then you got the 1,000 crystal pack, so 3,400 crystals. And if it, like me, I actually got super lucky. I pulled 30 out of a pack, so that saved me an 800 refresh on the very last one, and I got it. So I got my.
You got 30 out of a pack? Are you serious?
Yeah, I got 2,600 crystals to get the home 1 and Chimera.
You lucky little chinchilla over there. How'd you pull that one off? That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, the chinchilla, man. I got magic ways.
I got lucky one time with Darth Nihilus. You know, I think with Nihilus when I was buying his packs, I got 30 one time. You know, every other time it was like, you know, whatever. But that was when you only had a chance. That was either 30 or 5, right? So I've never gotten anything more than that. I'm sure there's somebody out there, okay? You know, when they say like 5 to 330 shards, there's definitely somebody out there who's pulled one pack and gotten a full 330 shards. I want to talk to that person. I'd like to get them on the stream.
Yeah.
You know, to get them on here and let's talk about the miracle pack.
Well, you can talk to cast a spell. I think it was Ahsoka he went all in for, and then they dropped a big one on him when he was like 20 shards from being finished.
Yeah, no. I mean, I know that's happened, but what I'm saying is like there's got to be somebody who literally just went in there, bought one pack, 330 shards, bam, I'm a winner. There's got to be somebody that's happened to. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's kind of like that's even luckier than getting double 10 million like on your scoundrel event. You know what I mean? Getting on a credit heist. Have you ever heard of anybody getting double 10 million? 10 million twice in one day?
I've never gotten 10 million one single time. I have an alt account, and it's gotten, that I rarely play. It's just a purely like emergency use only if somebody in the guild is out of town on vacation or something like that. I bring it in, and it's gotten 10 million twice, and I've had it open for 4 months. But on my main account, I've been doing the credit heist since day one, and not a single 10 million.
I've gotten it twice, but
it's probably a good thing because I would just waste it on something, anyway, like leveling up a bunch of mods or, taking, I don't know, IG 100 up to level 85 or something dumb like that. Just a pure waste of money.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I just think that there's got to be somebody out there who's made the Wonder Pole, the full 330 unlock. I actually got a full Boba Fett unlock out of Bronzium today. So I got a full 80 shards for the shard shop. I mean, I already have a Gear 11 Boba Fett, but I mean, I just I like that they made that change now. So when you unlock a full character, you actually get the full amount of shards, whereas before they used to just give you a portion of them. I remember, like, if you unlocked, let's say you pulled a Chromium and you unlocked the same character that you had already unlocked, you would only have gotten like 32 or 36 shards, I forget. And now you would get the full 80 again if it's a 4-star character.
Yeah, I know me personally, I never really did the Chromiums.
Yeah.
Like if I had the most of the characters, but still was missing 15, 20, 25 characters, I'd be a little more likely to purchase a Chromium because now you're getting 80 shards from all those 4-star unlocks. You're getting 50, and it used to be like 32 or something.
Oh,
it all adds up, especially now with the gear in there, and it's an easy way to get gear.
Right. But that's the thing. So it was just a chance, and now they've added the fact that you get the full. So I mean, if you open Bronzium packs, which I don't do enough. I mean, I have like 1.2 million Bronzium currency or squad. What's it called? What is that called? Is that that currency? I forget. Ally tokens.
Galactic War.
No, it's my
bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, ally tokens. So I have like 1.2 million ally tokens, and I'm hoping that there's something eventually, kind of like the tournaments, that they use that currency for. I don't know when that's going to happen or if it is ever, but that would be kind of cool. Anyway, yeah, I mean, when you pull with those, when you actually pull Bronzium packs with those, with that currency, you get, you have a chance to pull these, these extra shards. I was just trying to get like one extra shard, so I pulled a couple of Bronzium packs, and I ended up getting a full unlock, so I got full 80 shards. It gave me, 1,200 currency for the shard shop, so I mean, I was able to get, 3 purchases of gear out of there or 4 purchases of gear out of there, which is great. So, that's pretty cool now. And the gear amounts that you get for the price are actually really good as far as an exchange. Whereas like before, I mean, to get like 3 pieces of a droid caller, it would have cost you, 240, something like that. Like now, in some cases, you're getting 5 stun cuffs for 200 shard shop currency. So that's not bad.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into some questions. Do we have any questions?
Oh, we've got a couple. Yeah, hold on a second. Let me pull them up here. All right. We got a question from Arterius Draknight. Apologize, sir or ma'am, if I butchered that. At stream. So, apparently in SWGOH news update about Nightsisters, the screenshot with Mother Talzin has a 7-star mod equipped. What are your opinions on 7-star mods possibly coming to the game?
Well, I mean, obviously they had the mods equipped. Now, I know the devs did give a response to that, and they said that they were not actual 7-dot mods, or they did, respond to me and the Game Changer saying that 7-dot mods are not, coming like right now. But I know that obviously we've had them already in the game. I've had a 6 and 7-dot mod before. They were here once when mods first dropped. They were put in as rewards for the AAT raid, I believe. And then, was it the AAT raid or was the Rancor raid?
I think both. Like it's been a while. It's been so long. I never got one myself.
No, I think it was the Rancor raid. Sorry. So, as a reward for the Rancor raid, they added 6 and 7-dot mods. So a bunch of us got them, and then they said that that was done like accidentally, and they had basically pushed out an update which removed the mods from your inventory, and then they just replaced it with other mods. So I mean, if you had, let's say, gotten a 6 and 7-dot mod to level 15, they had actually just reimbursed you a regular or a grade A mod with it, and then given you back the currency that you needed to level it up. So you got back credits. So that was what they did. But yeah, so they're already in the game, so they're definitely going to come at some point. I mean, it's just a matter of time. We all know that. They've already been in the game. But, I mean, when, I don't know. I don't think it's going to happen right away. Maybe with, the next iteration of territory battles. Maybe it'll be some kind of a reward. I was kind of hoping that it would be part of the reward box for 45 stars for territory battles now, but it wasn't. So...
I'll tell you what, man, I wouldn't be surprised. They kept dropping hints, and they gave us that 5-dot gold health mod, the ATST event, the reoccurring thing that was supposed to come. Right. To get Wicket from the Ewoks. Mm-hmm. Maybe if you get that 7-star Wicket, get in there and get that prize box at the end of that phase, maybe there's, a special treat in there, a 7-dot mod, maybe. I don't know. Like, I can see them, whatever they do, they need to bring them into the game slowly. Like, they can't just, like, bam, here, buy a pack of 7-dot mods. They can't just give us all the 7-dot mods we can handle. And they need to, like, if you get a 7-dot mod, it doesn't matter the stats. Like, that one mod should be special and be your best mod, like, maybe give an event, like you said, the territory battles in the future, maybe everybody gets one mod and just slowly bring them in that way. Because, I mean, otherwise it's going to be a disaster. Like, as a free-to-play, you're not going to be able to win an arena if you've got big spenders on your shard just gobbling up 7-star mod packs. There's no way you'll be able to keep up because these mods, I mean, theoretically have 35, 40 secondary speed on them, right? Yep. 35-ish.
Well, they have. They have a significant speed increase, and like I said, I mean, I think it's going to be rolled out slowly. I don't think we're going to be seeing. Just them adding a new section, let's say, in mod challenges where you can just get, and farm 6 and 7-dot mods, anytime. I think it's going to be a situation where it's going to be some sort of reward, and there'll be a few of them out there, and over time they'll slowly start to become more readily available. So they'll become available in some other location. Maybe eventually you'll be able to start farming them, but it won't be right away. It'll be, definitely down the road at some point, I think. All right, so here we go. We're going for 7-star.
Oh, go ahead.
This is the 7-star. No, go ahead. No, I was just saying that we're going for the last round here.
Oh yeah, I was just saying maybe they put them in one of the ships, the currency spots, the stores. Spend I don't know, some ridiculous amount of territory battle currency, like we'll say just for fun, 10,000 to get yourself a 7-dot mod, or something like that would be a way to do it.
Right. That like I said, it's going to be something like that. I mean, it's going to be an event that gives you that as a prize, and then once they become more common, then eventually there'll be like some place for you to get them more readily. But I don't know. I feel like 7-dot mods are going to be the max because it looks like that's the most amount of spots they have. So I don't think they're going to go to like 8-dot mods or 9-dot mods. So we may not even get 7 dots right away. I mean, the first thing that may drop is actually 6 dots, and then maybe down the road we'll see 7 dots at some point in the future. If you know what I'm saying.
A buddy in my guild, Raiders, he actually just made a comment. It would be nice if we could upgrade our current mods to 6 and 7 dots. That would be good. That'd be cool.
Right.
That'd be something new to the game. It actually put in some sort of like a crafting system, because this game really does lack like a crafting system. Like, sure, you got to build the gear, but that's there's no, I don't know. It's like a workshop type area would be kind of cool.
You want a workshop?
Because there is a couple little spots on the home screen, like the cantina, if you will. There's a couple spots. There's like that door in the back by where the big guy used to be in the back corner. There's some areas they could put stuff in.
Oh yeah. Well, they can move around the cantina as they wish. I mean, I know they have to get like approval from Lucasfilm. That's for sure. But I mean, they can always expand the cantina and add a second. I mean, I was wondering where they were going to put the guild stuff, right? And then eventually, when guilds drop, we saw that they created a whole other section, and then they did the same thing for ships, basically just creating another room entirely just for that event. So, I think similar to that, they're going to do something like that for for this other stuff. And I think any guild stuff that comes out, like the next territory battles or guild versus guild, anything like that, will actually be in the guild events section right there. So we got a 7-star Thrawn or a 7-star Chimera. Yay! He wants a workshop so he can nerf GK Barris combo because he's a hater. Somebody's called you a hater of GK Barris.
Oh well, whatever, man. Like, that's fine. I'll continue to demolish that team in like 50 seconds. So yeah, that's fine.
That's
I don't
funny.
need 7-dot mods in a workshop for that. it's just using Thrawn and Nihilist Arena. It's just so boring. But like, it just destroys GK. Don't use GK lead. Use Barris under a different lead.
Right.
No crit immunity.
There we go.
You're gonna start putting these huge health. I mean, everyone's gonna start. Oh man. Just wasting Barrett.
Let's activate this bad boy. Let's activate this sucker.
Yeah. See, aren't you glad you didn't? Take Cassian's U-wing all the way up to waste all your ship credits on it?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely ecstatic about that. 5-star Chimera. Okay, so now I've got to put first. I got to use 1 million to level it up to 6-star, and then another 2 million for 7-star. So I'm not going to have anywhere near the credits necessary to get it to level 85, but we'll get it as far as we can. So 7-star.
Oh, you got to pick up those MK4s. Yep. Oh, I'm watching the stream. Actually, I'm behind. Never mind. Never mind. Ignore that.
It's all right. So I'm leveling up the abilities here for Thrawn. I mean, we have tons of these capital ship mats, so I can take care of that. But now we'll see how far we can take this.
We got a bunch of masters in the chat. There's like no questions. It's like just a bunch of game masters in the chat.
Oh, there's a bunch of game masters? Okay.
Yeah, game masters. Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes masters.
That's good. That's good. Okay, so let's see. And we'll get to level 59. Yeah, everybody's a game master.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess we got to be what, level 68 for this?
In the Alliance chat, they try to tell me Nightsisters are going to be trash, and Asajj got nerfed. Ah. Oh, what a hoot that was! Come on, Grim.
All right, I think I'm going to get some more currency here for this. Oh no, you don't get. For getting a 7-star Chimera, you don't get any ship currency. That's so dumb.
But I'm pretty sure once you get him to, like, once you rank him up to 7-star, you actually get a Zeta. You might get some ship currency out of that.
Okay, that's actually really cool. I mean, listen, I'm just glad that you get anything. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I ate, TIE Advance shards. I'll take it. Even though I have a 7-star TIE Advance, I'll take the shard shop currency. 50 crystals.
I mean, that's almost, what is that? Yeah, that's almost a 6 stun cuffs, stun guns, or carbonis.
Yeah, 50 crystals.
Full of that.
50 crystals, that's a refresh. I'll take it. Okay. Oh, I heard you have to restart sometimes to get the 7-star achievement. That's been happening. So maybe you should do that. Let's see. Maybe I just sign out and sign back in. Maybe that'll do it.
It kind of sucks, man. I got my 7-star Chimera today, and I went in there to put it at 7-star. I'm like, yes. And then I realized I had like 600,000 like currency, like ship currency. I was like, ugh. So that's going to take me like a week just sitting on this Chimera. Just like I know there's a Zeta waiting on me. I just can't get to it.
Oh, yeah?
I've got a couple Zetas saved, and I really just want to impulse buy some Nightsister stuff, but I'm going to hold off.
Let's see if that does it. Okay, yeah, I got it. Okay, so now I got the achievement. And yes, you get 25 crystals in a Zeta. I'll take it. That's a win. So, I guess we have a lot of game masters, so nobody wants to ask any questions. So I'm just going to go ahead and ask a question myself. All right. What do you think is going to what do you think is going to actually happen in that last stage for territory battles that nobody's done yet? The battle against the ATST that we think. Do you think it's going to be an actual ATST? Has that been confirmed yet?
What? Oh, the Rolo mission. The
right,
mission the
one you need 7-star Rolo for. So I mean, nobody's done it yet in the game, but I'm sure people know already what it is.
Well, I just like tomorrow will be Zai's first attempt at the 5-star Rolo special mission. So to answer your question, I'm just going to wait until Alpha gets to the mission and lets me know how hard it is, and then we'll plan accordingly. That's our game plan for the Rolo mission 7-star.
Yeah, I'm pretty interested in doing that. Well, we'll have
we'll let you guys crash and burn, and then we'll be ready for it.
Well, tomorrow I'll have a 6-star Rolo, so I mean we're almost there. I have a 7-star Han, so I mean it'll be 2 more territory battles until we have her. So that'll be cool. We're gonna need 2 more territory battles and she'll be 7-star. So we'll find out then.
The guy that suggested, the guy that made the comment about the Raiders, he made the comment of bringing the mods up to 6 and 7-star. He's also the one that came into our guild chat one day and was just like hyping up Captain Han. I was like, oh, whatever, just immediately dismissed it kind of because I didn't have the gear to get him there. And then I started playing with him, and it's like, wow, he's right. Like Captain Han's awesome for territory battles. So I took him up. He's gear 11 now, and I'm loving every second of him. He's super helpful. So I imagine Rolo will be the same. I took her to gear 10. I'm just going to leave her there. I don't really, if I don't need her at gear 11, I'm not going to take her there. Because both of those characters, I mean, I don't see myself ever using them anywhere outside of an Empire-based territory battle. I don't see it. But for the territory battles, they're awesome. So I'm hoping gear 11 Han and gear 10 Leia will get the job done with a nice supporting cast. Because Leia she's not very fun to gear. Takes lots of Carbonis. I think it was like 2 sets of Carbonis at like gear 7 to 8. Or 8. Like it's just way too early for that many Carbonis.
Have I ever spent a bunch of crystals at once and then immediately regret it? Absolutely. I think everybody has. I mean, even if you play,
that is every time.
even if you play for free, I mean, even more so if you play for free, and you've had any kind of crystals and you spent it on something that you shouldn't have, then you always immediately regret it. I mean, the first thing you think to yourself is like, oh man, I could have used that on refreshes, and there's been times. I mean, like when Rey was. When I was first going for a 7-star Rey, she was only available in one hard node. So it was like either farm Rey out of that hard node for 3 years or, get her, or get a couple of shards out of the chromium packs. So I had kept buying like every couple of days, just a single chromium pack, like a solo pack, one of those like $2.99 packs or 300 packs. I think they just get to just get one pull for a character. So I was looking to try to just get a full unlock of Rey, and I did it maybe like 5 times over the course of like a month, and I finally actually pulled a full unlock of Rey. So I got like the full 80 shards. So I didn't have to I already had the 80 shards farmed. But basically, because I got that one unlock, I got another 80, so I was able to start at 160 or something like that right off the bat. So I was already almost, on my way to 6 stars when I unlocked her. If that makes any sense. Because I didn't unlock her when I got the shards right away. Because I was able to, but I mean, at that time, you weren't using a 4-star Rey, so it didn't matter. I wasn't going to go ahead and unlock her. I waited for the the chromium pull, and it actually worked out. But yeah, I mean, but every time you pull a crystal pack that you shouldn't, or you spend a little bit on a gamble and it doesn't work out, you immediately regret it, of course. But that's part of the game. It's part of the chance. That's why you take it. Part of the excitement is taking that chance and seeing whether you got lucky or not. So I mean, you're paying for that experience as well.
Well, it's gambling.
Right. Essentially.
Is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's no different than going to play a hand of blackjack.
Right. You're taking.
We'll call it roulette.
Right. Yeah. You're taking a chance, and part of what you're paying for is taking that chance. So I mean, it's the thrill of taking that chance.
Pulling a single chromium pack and hope you get an unlock of whatever character you want. Putting your life savings on 00 on a roulette wheel. It's like, well,
yeah,
it's fun, but I mean, it's not, but it is.
It's fun, but it isn't. Yeah, no, I know. It's fun until it isn't. But yeah, all right. I mean, if there's no other questions, I think we're gonna bring this stream to a close here. I appreciate everybody coming to check us out.
We do have one more. We got one question. If
okay. Okay.
All right. Another. We got the guild in full force here. Rokasama asks, what factions if Mother Talzin was a legendary event, what are the possible factions that will be needed to acquire her? Separatists, Nightsisters, General Grievous? That's it. That's the question.
To get Mother Talzin?
Yay.
I mean, I would imagine Nightsisters, right? I mean, there'd be no better time to get Nightsisters or no better reason to use to get Nightsisters than to actually get Mother Talzin. That's what I was thinking right off the bat when they first announced this character. I thought to myself, like, okay, I mean, it's got to be a legendary event to get 7-star Nightsisters. I mean, they're gonna want to push that, but I don't know. If it is a legendary event, you'd have to think 7-star Nightsisters, but I don't know that. We'll have to see. It seems like I think if it was a legendary event, we would have probably heard that by now. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I'm excited either way. If we just get her to 2 stars or 3 stars, I'll just start farming the gear for her over time, and then when the time comes that she's available somewhere, I'll buy the. Well, I'm not going to buy the packs, but I'll farm her from whatever location she's at and just go from there. But we'll definitely.
Even if she's not going to the shard shop, you could go if you really like her kit, and there's some big spender in your shard has her 7-star in your arena, and it's just killing you. What you can do is you can start saving your crystals, because after a month or so, they're going to go to the crystal shipments. You can just like Low Gray and Paplu are in there now. Like Fulcrum Soko was in there the time before. You can just pluck her out of there. It's still kind of expensive, but if you start planning ahead, it's definitely doable and a lot cheaper than buying, any sort of pack that comes out like they had for the veteran Han and Chewie. You'll have to wait a month, and you'll probably have to wait another month or two to get her to 7 stars through the shipments. But it's a lot cheaper. And you can start planning for that now if you really wanted to. Actually, after saying that, I probably will do it. Granted, she's not a legendary character. If she does some sort of pack or marquee event, I'll probably start saving crystals now just to pull her out of shipments, because I'm not buying the marquee pack. It's a little steep for my britches, man. But
yeah, no, I agree. I'm excited about this 7-star Chimera, man. I just I primarily run Empire ships, so I'm looking forward.
I haven't personally used mine, but I do know on defense I'm getting through it pretty easy. It seems to be kind of slow. I don't even know. I know nothing about the base stats of it compared to the other capital ships, but it seems kind of slow. I think once people start getting their TIE Reapers up, I think the Chimera will probably get a good bit better. But it doesn't really do much. It's cool, because you can instantly KO. You can basically annihilate a ship, but it's cool. I don't know. I'm just so used to my old school Akbar. I guess I'm stubborn. I don't want to change, because I can still beat everybody. It's not like ship battles are too difficult.
So we're at 129 Hermit Yoda shards of 145. I need 16 more to finish the dude. Well, at least to get him to 5-star and unlock him. I mean, so by next.
Yeah, I started buying them just so I wouldn't waste my currency on other stuff. I just started buying them. My original plan was just to hold it all until I had enough.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was getting too tempted. You start getting close, you're like, well, I only need 3 more pieces of this gear.
Yeah.
You just buy it with the currency. I'm like, nah. So
well now I'm gonna have them unlocked by the next stream. So next stream we're gonna be running some Hermit Yoda for sure. So
That'd be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna make probably a Hermit Yoda video for the unlocking, during the week at some point. So you guys will check that out. But Again, thank you everyone for coming to check us out. I will be back next Friday with another episode of the Alliance Live Show, number 27. We will have Hermit Yoda to discuss. I'll have him unlocked. We'll probably go through some Galactic War. Hopefully by that point we'll also have the Nightsister update pushed out, and we'll be able to maybe take a look at some of that, and maybe run some matches of Mother Talzin. Hopefully I'll at that point have some footage, or maybe even be able to play some live gameplay of her for you guys if I have her unlocked on my other account or my alt account, and we'll take a look at that. But again, we'll revisit next week. If you guys have any questions, come over to our Discord. Just go over to thealliancegaming.com and follow the instructions there. We're always available to chat. You can send me private messages or just come to say hi. And you can check out tons of Alliance content there on the site. I was a guest on the Real Sith of Genius live show earlier today, the Jedi Academy, where I'm a regular on, so I'll be back there next week as well. So you guys should check that out also, and definitely check out their channel. They have a great stream every Wednesday night also. So again, thank you guys very much. Maurice, if you don't have anything else to add, we're going to go ahead and call it a stream today, but may the Force be with you guys, and we will see you on the next one. Peace.